Speak. 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 Help. Come get it. Come get it. Good boy. Today we're going to show you how we made this transmission tunnel out of fiberglass. Stay tuned. Mocked up the firewall temporarily. Now I've transferred the template to some 3/4 inch balsa core, scored balsa wood. You see it has a screen mesh on the back. You can splice it together from the back with clear tape to make different shapes. Here's the test fit in the car over the tunnel. See how it curves to conform and opens up sort of the cracks in between the pieces. So to get the shape underneath, of course I made a transmission mounting bracket, and then I've got a temporary hoop and some padding and whatnot there and some spacers to kind of hold the balsa core into shape. Here I've covered it all in shrink wrap plastic. I want to form the hump without fastening it down to the table right now, to the chassis right now. So now here I am with getting it mounted over the plastic, and I've got these little shims that I've put in place there that I can use to hold the shape. Those are temporary; those will come out. But I'm trying to hold the cracks open where I want to form the tunnel in a certain way to get certain clearances around, like the shifter linkage, what have you. So now I'm ready to go, and I'm just saturating it with resin. You have to do that and let it set up a little bit. Otherwise, the balsa will just absorb the resin and suck it out of the fiberglass cloth. So you've got to saturate it pretty well to solidify it. And again, adjusting the shims and playing around with it as I go. Now it's time to mix up the putty. I'm using quick fairing putty, 2-to-1, 2 parts the resin to 1 part hardener. Mix it up like you would any other kind of filler, and start kind of smearing it on the tunnel. As you cram it into the cracks there, you can pull the shims out and sort of playing around with the shims, but you can make adjustments, and eventually it starts to kind of hold its shape on its own. This stuff stays workable for quite some time, a good half hour. It was probably 68 degrees or so in the shop there that day, and so plenty of working time. Covered it over with plastic overnight to keep it from getting too cold and keeping dust and whatnot off it. So now I'm just kind of picking it up and removing the plastic over the top. And you see it's holding its shape pretty well. It weighs virtually nothing. I was thinking at that point I'm going to put some fiberglass cloth on the back before I mount it back in the car, but as I looked at it, kind of felt it was firm enough as it sat there. So you see the shape that it took. It held really well. So I've got here I'm peeling the plastic off the back, the tape that was there. Not really necessary right now, but I just wanted to kind of get it out of the way because it was kind of wrapped around the edges. And I was thinking there that it was stiff enough. I don't need to put fiberglass over the back at this point in time. I'll do that when I do the bottom of the car. But I did a lot of sanding, didn't show that. Trimming, sanding, fitting it into the car. Here I removed all of the temporary bracing, put the plastic back on, and then I'm ready to stick it down. So I'm using that 2-part cartridge epoxy stuff. I forget what they call it, but it's also by System 3. And I've got the marks on the floor there where I want to stick it. You can rough up the old epoxy that's on the floor, so you get a good stick to it, and a little bit more of that adhesive to get it to stick in there, and a little bit of filleting with the adhesive there really as well. Here, fiddling around, I got some little individual pieces of blocks of balsa, just fiddling around to kind of fill that space right there against the drive shaft tunnel that I had done previously. Just using this adhesive stuff to stick it on there. And then I went and got a whole bunch of chopped up fiberglass, chopped strand. I just made it myself from matting. Jam it in there with some resin, kind of makes a really great crack filler, and you can smooth it and mold it, and just trying to get a bit of a base there to put the fiberglass over. Here, just saturating the fiberglass cloth again, using epoxy, of course. This is just the tape lightweight cloth that I use to cover the seams, to build up the seams a little bit. You can see the resin goes right through it, saturates it really well. So I'm doing that on both sides. I'm only going to show this one side, but get it nice and wet. Stick it right on there. That'll just kind of hold everything in place. And then I'm going to saturate the tunnel again with a lot more resin, because I'm going to be putting 1708 on. You can see how it's shiny there as I saturated it. And the 1708 is that heavy double bias stitch mat stuff. Forms beautifully around the different complex shapes, and sucks up a ton of resin though. So you have to wet it, wet underneath it before, and then I put more resin on top. And you can see with this sped up video how slow, but eventually it does absorb the resin and come through, but you have to get it resin at the bottom and at the top so you don't get a lot of air bubbles or dry spots. And then just a whole bunch of time working it in place. Use a little plastic spreader there to kind of force the resin in through the tunnel, and just keep saturating it, work it in. Don't make it so saturated it's running off there, so be patient. I kept going back and forth to one side or the other while the other side absorbed. Take a brush, kind of smooth it out, work out the bubbles. I worked a lot on the transition to the other tunnel, and then the little ring roller there to do final smoothing. Set the laminate in place, get any fine bubbles out, get that nice texture, and remove any excess resin. That's kind of it. Once it cures, I'll trim it and be ready to put the rest of the firewall in. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe and comment. Take care. Bye.